Hey there, deep dive buddy. Ready for a deep dive into a question that's been puzzling people for centuries, but is still super relevant today?
Oh, I'm all ears. Lay it on me.
Okay, so we're going to tackle this. What does it really mean to believe something? And I'm not just talking about believing it's Tuesday. I mean those deep down convictions, especially when it comes to religious faith.
Ah, the big stuff. I'm intrigued.
Right. And lucky for us, we've got this theologian, Martin Dürnberger, as our guide. We're diving into some excerpts from his book, Basic Systematischer Theologie.
Dürnberger. He's a sharp one. Always gets you thinking.
He does not disappoint. He throws us right into this gripping story. It's about this resistance fighter, a partisan during wartime. He meets this mysterious stranger.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember this one. It's like a parable or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. So this stranger, they claim to be a high-ranking ally, someone who could totally turn the tide of the war. But here's the thing. The stranger keeps doing stuff that seems shady, like even helping the enemy sometimes.
Talk about a test of faith. That's got to mess with your head.
Big time. And that's Dürnberger's whole point. He uses this whole partisan's dilemma thing to show us how complicated belief really is. It's not just, oh, I believe you, end of story. There's way more to it.
So much deeper than we realize. It's like he's peeling back the layers of an onion or something.
Okay, so how does he break it all down then?
Well, he starts by saying there's this huge difference between believing that something is true and believing in something or someone.
Okay, I'm following so far.
So believing that is like, okay, the earth is round. It's accepting a fact. But believing in, that's a whole other animal. You need trust, loyalty, even when things get doubtful.
Right. So in the story, the partisan wants to believe that the stranger is on their side. But the real challenge is, can they believe in the stranger? Like in their character, their good intentions, even when all the signs are pointing to this guy's bad news.
Exactly. It's like sticking with a friend even when they screw up royally. You believe in them even when their actions are questionable.
Loyalty, I feel that.
Right.
And this is where Dürnberger brings in this other big thinker, Wittgenstein, and his idea of worldview beliefs.
Ah, yes. Worldview beliefs. Those
Yeah.
are key.
But what are they exactly? Break it down for me.
Okay. Think of it like this. They're the basic assumptions we have about how the world works. Like those lenses we see everything through.
Yeah.
They shape how we interpret things, how we make decisions. The thing is, these beliefs, they aren't always based on rock-solid proof, but they still influence everything else we do.
So it's like, you remember Agent Mulder from the X-Files?
With the I Want to Believe poster. Classic.
Right. So Mulder's whole thing about aliens and the government cover-up, that was a worldview belief, right? Shaped how he saw every single case, even when Scully was like, dude, get real.
100%. And that's what Dürnberger's saying. Our beliefs, especially the deep-seated ones, they're like Mulder's obsession with Area 51. They shape how we see things, even if we don't have all the facts.
Okay, I'm with you. So our beliefs are like these lenses we see the world through. Got it.
Yeah.
But then what happens when those beliefs get challenged? Like when life throws you a curveball.
That's where things get really interesting.
Mhm.
Dürnberger uses this Latin phrase, fides puerum credit non discuti. It basically means the faith of the pious believes it does not discuss.
Whoa. Hold up. Does that mean we should just blindly accept everything we believe and never question it? That doesn't sound right.
You've hit on a major point. Dürnberger gets that. He knows there's a danger in using faith as a shield to block out any kind of criticism or different viewpoint.
Yeah, that's not good for anyone. It's like refusing to try a new food just because you've already decided you hate it.
Exactly. You could be missing out on something amazing.
Yeah.
Just because you can't explain a feeling, like how something tastes, doesn't mean it's not real or valid.
Okay, I'm with you on that. So how do we balance having faith with being open to new information, to different ways of thinking, especially when those views challenge our core beliefs?
Now that's the million-dollar question.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer it, we need to go back to our friend, the partisan, and his crisis of faith. So our partisan, he's stuck with these doubts, right? On the one hand, he wants to trust this stranger, but then the stranger does something else that just seems off.
Yeah, it's like, should I stay or should I go? Except it's more like, should I trust this guy or is he going to betray us all? High stakes.
Exactly. And Dürnberger makes this point that real faith, it's not about just pretending the doubts aren't there, just shoving them under the rug, the partisan. He's really feeling the weight of those contradictions.
Yeah.
Those moments where it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up.
Right. It's like when you really care about someone or something, you're going to feel those bumps in the road. You can't just shut off those feelings of doubt completely.
Exactly. It's not about erasing doubt, but learning how to deal with it. So the partisan's faith, it's being tested big time. but doesn't just disappear. He's clinging to that trust he had in the stranger, even while he's trying to make sense of all these red flags.
Which takes guts, right? Especially when everyone around you is probably thinking, dude, what are you doing? I bet those other resistance fighters are giving the partisans some serious side-eye.
Oh, for sure. People are going to question what you believe,
Mm-hmm.
especially when your beliefs seem to clash with what's actually happening. And that's where Dürnberger gets even deeper. He says those worldview beliefs we were talking about, they're not just challenged by our own doubts, but also by other people's views. And get this, he thinks that's actually a good thing.
Wait, hold on. How can having your beliefs challenged be a positive thing? I thought the whole point of believing in something was to have that unshakable certainty.
It sounds kind of strange, right? But Dürnberger says, if you never question your beliefs, if you never let them be challenged, can you even say they're strong beliefs? Or are they more like, he calls it an immunization against thinking critically?
Interesting. So if you never expose your beliefs to other ideas, they become fragile, like a house of cards, one good breeze, and poof.
That's the idea. Dürnberger says true belief. It's not about building walls to protect your ideas from anything that contradicts them. It's about being brave enough to engage with different viewpoints, even if it means asking yourself some tough questions. Because that whole process, that's what makes those beliefs stronger.
So instead of running from doubt, we should lean into it. Let it refine what we believe, make it stronger.
Now you're getting it. And Dürnberger's not saying that all beliefs are equal. He's talking about those fundamental ones, those core beliefs we have about the world, like believing in the goodness of humanity versus remembering where you left your keys. Those are two totally different things.
Right. The big picture beliefs are the ones that shape how we live our lives.
Exactly. And for those core beliefs, the ones that guide our actions, Dürnberger says, being open to doubt, to hearing other people's perspectives, that's what helps those beliefs grow and become truly strong.
You know, this is making me rethink this whole idea of blind faith, maybe real faith, the kind that lasts. It's more about having the guts to keep your eyes open, to be willing to deal with the messiness of life, even when it's hard.
It's about what we call intellectual humility.
Intellectual humility. Okay, I like the sound of that, but what does it mean exactly?
That's the million-dollar question. And it takes us to one of the most important things Dürnberger talks about.
You were about to explain that intellectual humility thing. It sounds like something I need in my life.
It's a big one, for sure. Basically, it means admitting that none of us have it all figured out. You know, being open to the idea that our beliefs, even the ones we're super sure about, might be a little off or need some tweaking.
So it's not about giving up on what you believe in, but being open to learning and growing along the way.
Exactly. Dürnberger uses this metaphor of a treasure in a vessel. And he says that treasure of faith, you can find it in all sorts of vessels, scripture, tradition, personal experiences, even in what people who see things differently from us have to say.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Be open to different perspectives, even if it means questioning your own ideas in the process.
Exactly. Because it's when we ask those questions,
Yeah.
when we really wrestle with different viewpoints, that's when our beliefs get tested and refined and ultimately stronger for it.
Makes you think about how we often surround ourselves with people who already agree with us. It's comfortable, for sure. But maybe it also stops us from really understanding why we believe what we believe.
That's the thing. Comfort doesn't equal truth.
Yeah.
You know, if we want our beliefs to be strong, to really hold up under pressure, we've got to be willing to step outside our comfort zones and have those tough conversations with people who see things differently.
And this isn't about trying to win anyone over to our side, right? It's more about really listening, trying to understand, learning from each other.
100%. It's about recognizing that other perspectives have value, even when, or maybe especially when we disagree with them.
Yeah.
You never know. You might just find a whole new side to that treasure you never even considered before.
This whole conversation has been a real eye-opener. We usually think of belief as this black and white thing. You either believe it or you don't. But Dürnberger's saying it's way more nuanced than that. It's more like a journey of questioning and doubting and rediscovering what we believe in.
And like any good journey,
Yeah.
it's not always easy or comfortable. But when we embrace the complexities, when we face those doubts head on and really listen to different points of view, we come out of it with a deeper, more resilient, and ultimately richer understanding of ourselves and what we hold to be true.
This deep dive has given us a lot to chew on, that's for sure. How our beliefs shape the way we experience the world, the importance of being open to new ideas, and how engaging with different perspectives can actually make our beliefs stronger.
It reminds us that truly believing in something, it's not passive. It's an active process of engaging with the world, with all its ups and downs, and coming out the other side with a more nuanced understanding of ourselves and what we hold dear.
And hey, maybe we'll even try some new foods along the way. You never know what you might discover when you're open to new experiences. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep those minds open and those questions coming. We'll see you next time.